Hello my beautiful friends. If this is your first time to my channel, my name is Emily. Thank you so much for joining me today. And today I am bringing you another pay or stay away. Let's go ahead and hop right on into this week's new makeup releases. So getting started today, I just wanted to let you guys know that if you were interested in the new Ace Beauty Paradise Collection palettes, they have just dropped as of 9 a.m. today, Monday the 16th. So if you are interested in them, I definitely suggest hopping on over to the website and picking some of those up because they are beautiful. And yes, your girl got the Blossom palette, of course. How could I resist the Blossom palette? This palette is like the physical embodiment of my soul. Look at all this pink. Look at all this beautifulness happening in this palette. So, of course, I picked it up, and if you are interested in picking them up as well, I highly suggest hopping on over to the website because they are an indie brand, and I'm sure they'll sell out soon. So, let me know if you picked one of them up because I am so freaking excited to try them out because the palettes are damn beautiful. But jumping into this week's new makeup releases, I don't actually have that many that really stood out to me and that were really, like, attention-grabbing enough for me to want to talk about them. So, I'm just gonna get started here with the Wet n Wild Zodiac collection. This collection will be available on July 17th on Walmart.com and wetnwild.com, and if you want to pick it up in stores, the collection will be available on August 1st in Walmart. So this collection is essentially themed around the Zodiac, which I love. We saw this happen with BH Cosmetics and they did it okay. It's not the worst palette in the world, but the color scheme was kind of neutral, a little more bland than I personally would like, just because I'm a crazy person and I'm into bright color. But I was really hoping that other companies would kind of take inspiration from this idea. I mean, not steal it completely because that's bad, but you know, take the Zodiac inspiration and make it into something really cool. And Wet n Wild has done just that. They are going to be coming out with 4 beautiful Mega Glow highlighting bars for $6.93. They are in the shades Air, Fire, Water, and Earth. Reminded anyone of Earth, Wind, and Fire because that's the first thing I thought when I saw this collection and saw the names. Do you remember when it first started, September? They are also going to be launching 4 eyeshadow palettes that are actually in little circular compacts, but each little portion of the pan itself is a different shade of eyeshadow, so that's kind of cool. It looks like those are going to be $4.68, and it's going to consist of the same theme, the Air, Fire, Water, and Earth theme. Then there is going to be 12 new color icon glosses with different finishes for $2.93 each. And of course, all of these shades are named after the wonderful Zodiac. So make sure to check up on the shades and see if the shade actually matches your corresponding Zodiac sign. Because I'm a Taurus and I think it's a pink, so that fits me pretty damn well, if I do say so myself. And finally, they are going to be releasing a beautiful loose powder highlight that is a kind of icy pinky champagne tone color. This highlighter looks like an absolute dream, and I am for sure picking it up. I do remember that Wet n Wild launched a loose highlighter in the Gothographic collection, which launched in winter of 2018, 2017. It was right in that middle time when we were going from December to January, I believe. And that highlighter was really gorgeous. I really regret not picking it up. You got so much product. It was literally the size of like a loose setting powder jar. And you got that much product in the actual jar itself. So essentially you were getting as much highlighter as you would in a normal loose setting powder, which is a lot. That's a lot of product. And it was a very inexpensive price. I believe it was only $5.99 or $6.99, maybe $7.99. I don't really remember. I can't be trusted to remember all of these things. But it was just absolutely stunning, and I highly regret not getting that. I don't know what I was doing not picking that up. I saw it in stores, and I was like, oh, I don't need to spend the money. I'm going to save my money and be good. Meanwhile, I'm going out buying $50 palettes every other day. Logic. I don't know what's wrong with me. So I am absolutely going to be picking this baby up, and I'm definitely going to pick up one of those bar highlighters as well. I really like the concept of the little bar highlight because I feel like you can really dip your pan into the brush, kind of swipe back and forth and get everything evenly coated. And I feel like the shape of the pan really just suits a highlighter brush, and I feel like it's an awesome concept, and we haven't really seen it that much when it comes to highlighters. We've seen it with Charlotte Tilbury and Wet n Wild, and I think that's it. Now, you can correct me if I'm wrong. I would love to know because I think that it's a really cool concept, but I think that it's a pretty unique idea, and the shades look absolutely gorgeous. And of course, I am absolutely into this collection. I love the concept of it. I love the zodiac signs, I love astrology, and I like that they are taking kind of a new approach to things here. So I cannot wait to see everything in person, but when everything launches, I am absolutely going to order some of it, and I'll do a review on this channel, of course. Let me know if you're picking any of it up, because I think that this is a great collection, and I'm really excited for it. Next up on the pay or stay away list, we are going to be talking all about the Dose of Colors and Iluvsarahii, aka Karen Gonzalez collection. Now, if you are not already aware, Iluvsarahii, aka Karen Gonzalez, is a YouTuber and Instagram influencer. She has a large following. She's absolutely freaking stunning. I mean, goddamn, that girl is beautiful. But she recently collabed with Dose of Colors, and I think that a lot of people were guessing that this was in the works because she's kind of like Desi and Katie, if you know them. They're kind of all in the same realm for me. They're bigger YouTubers, but they seem very genuine and down to earth and kind, and I really do enjoy them. They don't seem like they lie about products to their followers, and I like them. Even though they're bigger YouTubers, I think that they seem like sweet girls. And Karen is one of them, and she just recently collabed with Dose of Colors, which in the past has collabed with Desi and Katie before, so I think a lot of people were guessing that this was coming. But this collection is going to be consisting of an eyeshadow palette for $35, 2 highlighters for $28 each in the shade Soulmate, which is a gold, and Bathe, which is a peachy pink. Right up my alley. There's going to be 4 matte liquid lipsticks for $18 each in Nude Chica, a pinky nude, Peachy with 2 eyes, which is adorable, which is also a peachy nude, Freesia, which is a bright strawberry, and Aesthetic, which is a burnt sienna. There's also going to be 2 different glosses for $17 each, which is Barely There, a pink nude, which will be sheer, and Brillo, which is a gold reflective kind of sheer gloss as well. So to me, the eyeshadow palette is kind of the talk of the subject here when it comes to this collection. I've heard a lot of people kind of sound off about it in the Trend Mood comments. You know, I'm a snoop and I always like to look at what the peanut gallery has to say, and it seems like a lot of people, myself included, feel like this palette very much so resembles the Pool Party single shadows that they brought out a couple months ago. And those were really expensive. I believe they were called Pool Party. I might be totally wrong and making something up here and pulling something out of my ass. But essentially, Dose of Colors came out with some single eyeshadows that were pretty big size pans, so you got a lot of product, but they were really expensive. I believe they were $28 each, and it was just 1 pan of metallic eyeshadow. Some of the colors were cool, some of them were more neutral, kind of bland, things we've seen a lot, but some of them were really pretty, and one shade that really stuck out to a lot of people was this beautiful, like, deepened blackened teal. And it looks like Karen has just scooped up that idea and thrown it in her eyeshadow palette, which I'm not mad at because the eyeshadow palette is, what, $35? So you get like 5 more shades for a couple more dollars than going out and having to pick up just the 1 single shadow. Is there a bee in here? If there's a bee in here, I'm going to lose it. I'm hearing a buzzing noise and I'm like, oh god, no, you were gonna get it. Okay, no bee, but I don't know what that buzzing noise was. But the show must go on. Let's go ahead and continue and pretend like that didn't happen and hope that whatever was buzzing is gone. Because I don't want to share my room with anyone else, especially if they're not paying rent. But the eyeshadow palette is really pretty, and I like that she put that teal color in there. But I don't need a palette like this right now because I don't really use neutral tones, and there is some kind of like more warm tone neutrals in there, as well as a black and then that beautiful teal. And I would really only want the teal, and I'm just not going to go out and spend 35 bucks on it because I'm not really going to get that much use out of it. So for me, it's a pass, but I think it was a great idea for her to at least take the color of one of the singles from the collection into that palette, because a lot of people did want it but just did not want to fork over 28 bucks for 1 single pan of eyeshadow. So that was a very good move on Karen's part. Now the lipsticks are really beautiful, but I don't really need any new lipsticks right now. I don't know why, but for some reason, for like 12 years of my life, I was on a lipstick kick. Even before I was into eyeshadow and eyebrows and lashes and all that jazz, I was always into lip products. So I have a gigantic collection of lip products, and I just don't need to really add to that, you know? I don't need to add to the madness here. So I'm not going to get any of those. But let's talk about those beautiful, foiled, shiny, beautiful goodness of highlighters that she has brought out. I'm getting that peachy pink one. Mark my words, I'm getting it because that is absolutely stunning. It looks so metallic and so buttery and so high shine, and that is my type of highlight right there. I want to be seen from space, obviously. This is my type of formula. It looks so buttery and so smooth. I've never seen these in person or any of the Dose of Colors highlighters in person for that matter. But based off of the swatches that she did, I think that these look absolutely stunning. So your girl is getting that peachy pink highlighter. And I got a little bit ahead of myself and I didn't even tell you guys when this is launching. Everything will be releasing on June 28th at 10 a.m. PST. So if you are interested in any of these products, definitely set your clocks because Karen is very loved by her subscribers and her followers. And I'm sure that everything will sell out very quickly. So this next item on my pay or stay away list, I'm slightly nervous to talk about, and I'll explain that in a little bit. But Laura Lee Los Angeles is going to be dropping 2 new mini palettes. One of them is more colorful and the other is a bit more neutral. The more colorful of the bunch is called Party Animal and the more neutral palette of the bunch is called Like a Boss. These are going to be releasing on July 18th at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Each palette will be $19 or you can get both of them for $30. So if you know me and you know my makeup tastes, obviously Like a Boss is not my type of palette. I can definitely see use for it and I know why she made it, and I can see a lot of people gravitating towards that type of palette. These are beautiful tones for work. They're beautiful tones if you are into more calmed down eyeshadow looks. They're beautiful for neutral looks, but I am not that kind of girl. I don't like neutral and I don't wear makeup to work, so I don't have to worry about that. So this isn't really my cup of tea here, but if you are interested in these colors, maybe this might be good for you because this is only $19 and you do get 6 pans of eyeshadow. But of course you guys know that the Party Animal palette caught my attention and I definitely think that it's really pretty. I love the bright colors. I love that they are trying something new. Laura Lee Los Angeles hasn't come out with anything that is bright yet. She's had some more kind of colorful neutral shades. I think in her first palette she had a couple purples and a couple berries and that was pretty. But she hasn't really come out with any bright, fun colors yet. So I think this is a good addition to her line. And I do like that she has done 2 smaller palettes because not everyone wants to go out and spend $50 on 12 different pans of bright colored eyeshadow or 12 different pans of neutral eyeshadow. Sometimes people just want to pay a little bit lower of a price tag to get less product but still get a similar effect and still be able to make a certain type of eye look. So I appreciate her kind of appealing to the people who don't want to go out and purchase an entire palette and save a little bit of money. I like that. I like that she did that. But you guys know I am a snoop and I'm always creeping up on Chenwood's page, and I did however see some people saying that this just looks like Manny's palette split into 2, which it kind of does, but the colors are different. Like the colors are very different if you actually put them side by side. They're a little bit different. They're not very different, let's be honest here. But they are different enough that if you have the Manny palette and you wanted to say pick up the Party Animal palette to kind of add to the colorful side of Manny's palette, I think that that would be a great idea, and I think that it would really kind of round everything out because Manny's palette does have some brighter colors, but Laura's Party Animal palette is kind of like electric neon looking. So I feel like if you were to pair that half of Manny's palette with Laura's little mini palette, you could come up with some awesome, really fun, bright, vibrant, colorful looks. And I kind of feel the same if you were to pair half of Manny's palette that is the more neutral side with Laura's more neutral palette. You could definitely get a large variety of neutral looks. I feel like weirdly enough, all of these palettes, both of Laura's and Manny's, complement each other and I kind of like it. I know that they're friends, so maybe they meant to do that on purpose. But I think that they would all work really well together or separately for that matter. But I'm not going to pick either of these palettes up because I just simply don't really need anything like this. Now I do really like the colorful palette, and if you watched last week's Pay or Stay Away, then I'm sure you know that Colored Rain has recently dropped their bright, colorful, vibrant collection, and I did pick up some single shadows from that collection, and I don't need any bright colorful shadows right now because I bought those. But if I didn't pick those up from Colored Rain, I would consider picking up Laura's Party Animal. Now, one reason why I'm kind of nervous to talk about anything Laura Lee, and to be honest, I wasn't even planning on it after what happened last time, is because I made a video on my channel that was supposed to be duping out some colors in my collection that would be comparable to the Laura Lee Nudie Patootie palette. And I put that video up around my birthday, around April 25th, 26th. And I got an absurd amount of hate on that video. It has a lot of views, but I got so much hate on that video because people were saying I was a Laura Lee hater. People were just calling me all sorts of names. I was at a concert on my birthday and I was getting like awful messages by Laura Lee's like subscribers and people who like her, I guess. And they were just like ripping me a new butthole, okay? It was just awful. And so I decided to not talk about her for a while just because of what happened, not even because of Laura Lee. Laura Lee had nothing to do with that, and Laura Lee's subscribers, to be honest, really had nothing to do with that. It was just a small, teeny tiny portion of people who came to my channel. And in that video, I mentioned that I was happy for Laura and that I thought it was a cool launch. I thought the duochromes that she came out with were beautiful. But I said that I liked my collection of shadows that I put together a little bit more for my personal preferences. And that's when people just weren't having it, I guess. I don't know. But I'm telling you guys that story because I wasn't going to mention Laura Lee on my channel for that reason. Not because of Laura Lee and not even because of her subscribers, like I said. Just because of the amount of hate I got for saying something like that, I guess. But I decided against that because it's not Laura's fault that people were jerks. I mean, it's not her fault at all. So I should definitely treat her brand fairly and give you guys the information about her brand and what she's putting out, because it's not her problem that people came over to me and attacked me or whatever. But that's just how the cookie crumbles. People will give you hate on YouTube, and sometimes people will give you very unnecessary, rude hate for no reason. Everyone goes through it. Everyone who's on social media goes through it. We put ourselves out here, so therefore we kind of subject ourselves to this kind of stuff, and you know, we all go through it. So I am going to be mentioning her on my channel again, and I doubt anyone even noticed that I stopped mentioning her, but I did, and, you know, I got over it. I'm a big kid. So, yeah, I don't really know why I told that entire story. It kind of just came out like word vomit, but let's go ahead and hop right on in to the very last item for Pay or Stay Away. And the last item on the Pay or Stay Away list for this week is the up-and-coming Natasha Denona mini palette. Now, this palette is a mystery as of right now, but I am praying and hoping that she comes out with a mini of the Lila palette, because I will buy that in a freaking instant. I want the Lila palette so bad, but I'm not spending 129 bucks on that. No way, no how. I'm not falling for that trap again. I already bought the Sunset palette, and Natasha, you cannot trick me into spending my money on that palette, because that's just too damn expensive for a broke girl like me. But recently, Natasha did come out with a little teeny tiny mini version of the Sunset palette, and I believe it was only $28, so the price range was pretty good. Now, I know the pans are pretty small, but it is Natasha Denona. I mean, you pay $129 for her regular palette, so I appreciate her coming out with something that's a little bit smaller. But obviously, I didn't pick up the mini Sunset palette because I do already own the big Sunset palette. I own the Big Daddy. But I wanted to pick up the Lila palette when it first came out, but I just could not justify spending that money again, and to this day, I can still not justify myself spending that money. But if she does happen to come out with a mini version of the Lila palette, I can justify that. I definitely want to try it. I love the bright pink in the original Lila palette, and I hope to God that she puts it in the mini palette if this is what this little palette's going to be, which I have a sneaking suspicion that it might be. So I'm really excited to see what this is, and I am definitely going to be picking it up if it is even slightly reminiscent of the Lila palette. But that is going to be wrapping up this week's Pay or Stay Away. Do let me know down below in the comments if you are going to be picking any of this up, or if you had any other launches that kind of stood out to you. Let me know, because sometimes I miss some of these, and sometimes I just don't include them because they don't really catch my attention. So if you do want to pick anything up soon, or if you're going to be picking up those Ace Beauty palettes like I did earlier, let me know in the comments below, because I am so curious to see and hear what you have to say. But I do hope that you consider subscribing if you have not already. I am doing Pay or Stay Away every single Monday, and during the rest of the week I have all sorts of makeup videos happening for you on this channel. So I hope that you hit that subscribe button down below. I do also hope that you consider giving this video a big old thumbs up if you did enjoy it, and hitting that notification bell down below as well. I hope you are having an absolutely fantabulous, fantastic, and nice, cool air-conditioned day, because let me tell you, it's hot over here, wherever you are, and I hope to see you next time. Bye!